Okay, my brother Rusty was a lot younger than I. He was born when I was a senior in high school. But anyway, when Rusty was about 4 years old, not far from where we lived, there was a blacksmith shop, and they had a bench out in front where they would come out and rest sometimes, and they had a bucket of pecans sitting there. Well, Rusty's going by, and as he was going by, he just reached in and grabbed a couple of pecans. Well, the owner of that blacksmith shop, his son was a Marine veteran. He'd been in World War II, and was a pretty salty character. And he hollered at Rusty when he saw him take those pecans. Rusty took off running, and this guy, I'll call him Jay, he ran after him and caught him and spanked him. Well, Rusty goes home crying to Mom. Mom comes up there with Rusty and confronts Jay about it and telling him, you know, if my kids need to be corrected, you let me do it. And he gave my mom a hard time. Well, of course, when Dad came home from work, here's this story. Well, this man Jay, he also had the responsibility of turning off the lights at the high school activities field where they had softball games and things and like that during the summer. And so during the game, Pook was telling me this story. He said he saw Dad kind of walking up and down the sidelines following the game, but he had his eyes focused on Jay all the time, and so he knew something was up. Well, when all the games were over, it was time for Jay to go over and turn off the lights off the field. Why, Dad followed him, and Pook was following because he wanted to see what was going to happen. And Dad told Pook, you know, you go on home. I'll be home in a little bit. You go on home. Well, Pook just stepped back in the shadows because he knew something was going to happen. And so when Dad caught up with Jay at the pole where he pulled the switch to turn the lights, he said, look, he said, I don't want you ever touching my kids again. Since they need to be corrected, you tell me and I'll do the correcting. And Jay had a keychain with quite a bit of keys on it, and Pook said he swung that at Dad's face, and Dad let him have it and put him out cold with one punch. Nothing was ever said about it. That ended that. That's the way they ended confrontation in those days. There was no lawsuits. There was no arguments or anything. Dad put him out with one punch.
That's awesome.